what I mean? So I can't expect that parent to instill that in their child because that parent's in high school.
No, but he said schools too. We got another group that says school. We got actually a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I did the five things I named. They got schools, they got the community, they got the police. So this is I just hitting on the parents part. When we talk about how we parents should bring out our kids the right way first. And he said on the side of the white parents, you can't tell your child to hit a black. Like your girl say, don't date a black guy. Or your boy, don't mess with a black girl. That's hate. And those are some of the stuff that kids grow up with. So even if you grew up with that and you become a police officer, that is already in you. So if you go to arrest a black guy, you already know that he's not a good guy. So instead of trying to arrest him, you try to get rid of him before he get rid of you. So the parents should know that everybody is the same. White parents should let the kids know that black is just like you, and the black parents should let the kids know that white is just like you. See, yeah.
Black children should know that everybody are created equal. White people should feel the same way, but they also should be able to identify with the reality of the way their life is going and how it's being dealt with according to those people as well. My grandmother was a maid probably for 50, 60 years. And the first time I seen the movie The Help was the first time I realized that was actually what my grandmother did, because she wore that outfit. And I called her and I said something to her about it, and she calls it community service. She's never said that to me as a child, that I work for these white people. I went to the house and things like that, but I don't know, I just never fathomed the idea of what was going on. My mother and her brothers and sisters were the first children in the city that I'm from to go to integrated schools. I'm a son of my mother. I'm the first, in my opinion, to be free in my family, if you will. A little bit better for my children to say that they didn't like it. By the time I went to school, it was simulated already, but my grandmother, and nothing towards my family, my grandmother lived in the projects today, which means that she could only understand her situation to so much. She could only give so much of an understanding for herself and towards her children, which they had to take and push and go from where they could. And my mother did the same thing. Moving around, I've been able to see and grow from where I am. But you're right. You have a young lady that goes to Ellison that drops her child off at a elementary school. She's not developed. I'm 28. I'm still trying to come into myself. So it is on the parents, but we have to be honest about the disconnect of where we are. And if we do place blame, I do think that we do have to look back at the older generation and say that after things like Malcolm X and things, we did lose the fight and the drilling in what we needed to do and tell us, because I tell my children, and it's important that they know what they have to do today. So there was no reason for us to lose that disconnect between the 60s and the 90s, in my opinion.
Breeon, you've been too quiet. I know you got something to say.
Man, I've heard what everybody said, and everybody had a lot of good points. And I think that it does start with education, but education within the household. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much negativity that's being seen for our kids. It's too accessible. You know what I'm saying? And we have to teach them what's right and wrong, but we also have to teach them how to be strong and how to deal with certain things in life. I think a lot of people deal with situations wrong because they don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't taught how to. You know what I'm saying? They see ignorance, so they give ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the black male is portrayed nowadays. Like even from hip hop to just being out here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say something about people being gay, they think that's wrong. But no, I don't think being gay is right as a black man, because it takes away from you. It takes away from your strength. When people look at a gay man, they don't think he's strong. And off top, you don't think that a gay man is strong. You You know what I'm saying? But and that's what society is pushing off on our kids. You know what I'm saying? It's in everything, cartoons, everything. So once you push that and you demasculate the black man, you know what I'm saying? That's how our youth grow up. They grow up soft. They grow up not wanting to be kings and leaders and people who help others. You know what I'm saying? They want to be these people who are basically idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like because you got guys out here who rap that ain't talking about nothing, and then when I came up hip hop, you had a lot of leaders doing this. You know what I'm saying? You had men who was spitting knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You could get knowledge outside of the home, because all homes nowadays don't have both parents. A lot of homes don't have a father. You know what I'm saying? So but when I came up, I was getting it from out here in the streets, or I was getting it from the music, or I was getting it from TV, because I was seeing these things. Now these things aren't put out. So you know what I'm saying? I feel that we need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? We need to teach. You know what I'm saying? We need to push more positivity. We need to push more strength onto the youth. You know what I'm saying? And I feel once that comes about, then that's when the change will come, because then we'll have more strong black men. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's like we're lacking in that area. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I go, I see brothers who are either gay or they're uneducated. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a good combination. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back to being strong and being kings.
I go back to what Jupiter said. It's a war, and you have to, read the book Art of War. It's a whole generation of leaders that's in jail, from Nixon all the way down to Clinton. And, we're getting ready to vote for the next president, and another Clinton is in the House getting ready to, pretty much push that agenda that most likely her husband had. So, they took a generation with petty type crimes and put them in jail, a whole generation of males. So now we have our kids growing up without that generation of males. And then, I don't listen to too much music like I used to, because, I think it has devolved. Maybe it's just the new generation. But I really don't understand how I can turn on a radio station and hear every word, every unethical word known to God in a song, and then the host, or you have people talk about, hey, we need to stand up, we need to do this, we need to do that. But you're planting seeds in the youth lives that will get watered and eventually grow into a tree or a stump that would be detrimental to, let me define community. The community, you own the assets. You control the resources. So, blacks don't live in a community. It's a neighborhood, or like Jupiter said, a concentration camp. And with that being said, we're segregated. We might not think we're segregated, but we are segregated. Whites stay on one side of the town, blacks stay on the other side of the town. And if all they're getting is this negativity through music, negativity through television about how blacks are and how we treat each other, why should they treat us differently? That's just something to think about.
Jupiter?
There's a lot to unpack. No, the Art of War. Listen to this. There are about 3% of Jews living in America. And anytime Israel is threatened, we have boots up. The United States military gets ready to go to war. Now, if we as people of African descent in America realize the power that we have, we can control international policies as it relates not only to us here, but as it relates to Africa, as it relates to the Caribbean. See, this is about power. And so the military uses every tactic in the black community before they use it on the battlefield. You got to listen to what I'm telling you. There's a technique called money is a weapon system. That's how we use that tactic to get rid of what they call insurgents in other countries. We get one group, we give them a whole bunch of money, we cause them to go destroy that system. It is proven that America has taken the same process and brought drugs from Latin America into black communities when we were coming up. and they destroyed our system. So what I'm saying to you is this. There are no natural commodities on Wall Street. There are no natural commodities on Wall Street. If we as black men and women in America realize our power and our potential, pool our resources economically, politically, social, culturally. And by the way, we can't have a culture with a different language, because language is the method by which you express your culture. So you can't speak English and say you got a black culture. You got to hear what I'm saying. You cannot speak English and say you have a black culture, because culture is expressed through the language in which you speak. So every time we claim we have a culture, okay, so we're going to have these major holidays, right? And the black culture is to go buy barbecues and buy alcohol. What we're doing is we're subsidizing the culture that is oppressing us. We have to be real with it. I tell people this, you could get it, take it how you want it. If I take a male lion and a female lion out of Africa and I bring them to Dallas and I put them in a zoo and they have a baby, they don't have a Texas lion. It's still an African lion. It is still an African lion, so you better know who you are, because they know who you are. That's why all of the weapons are pointed at us. Bob Marley says ambush in the night. Due to political strategy, they keep us hungry. So when we want to get some food, a brother got to be your enemy, because you kill who is in your proximity. This is what it's all about, our taxation, our laws. Let's talk about desegregation of schools. In 1954, they desegregated schools, right? But then they changed the tax law to fund the schools by house taxes. So if you're living in a poor neighborhood, your schools are still segregated. This is common sense. And we have allowed it to happen so the young people don't trust us anymore, because we walk by like nothing to see here. Okay? Nothing to see here. When we know that the Aryan race has infiltrated the police departments. So every time the police kill somebody, how come Lynch and the Obama administration do not do a deep dive on that police officer to see if there's a connection to the Aryan race or supremacist groups? Nothing to see here. What it is we got to do for ourselves. We got to do for ourselves. And I'm going to say this, okay? America has one leader. I'm a logical guy. You find me a black man that could call 1 million black men, and I'm going to follow that man. That's the leader. So I don't care who you are, what your religion is, or whatever. I'm real with it. I'm real with it. Because when it happens, and it's going to happen, something is going to happen. But I have solutions. I don't want to just leave with a bad taste in my mouth. This is what we got to do, young people. Technology today, everybody got a smartphone, right? So on your smartphone, you got a GPS app, correct? On your smartphone, you also got an app that has group calling. So I call it 5 and Stay Alive. You find 5 people that you could call if you get a flat tire, and they will respond to you immediately. You don't want Pookie and them who's going to say, hey, man, I can't get out there. You find 5 people in your circuit. You put them on your GPS app, that when you hit that app, they all get the phone call at the same time, and the app also provides your location. And you use that every time the police pull you over. So you're not by yourself. At least that's a start. At least that's a start. If you live in a state that has permit to carry guns, I carry guns. I love carrying guns. So me and all my buddies, we don't go out to barbecues. We go shooting. We don't buy sneakers. We buy bullets. I'm just saying. So the 5 that I got in my app, I know they all carry guns. Now, understand, we are a diverse community. We got a faith-based community. So if you're part of a faith-based community, put 5 people in your app. That's part of the faith-based community. I got 5 people in my app. They all carry guns, and they all got license to carry guns. So if I get pulled over by law enforcement, anywhere I have my phone, I hit my app, and guess what? I know my 5 is coming for me, and they're going to be where I'm at. I'm just saying.
That's true.
What's the app called?
GPS.
Okay. Just in case anybody just tuned in, we I think the show might have to be next weekend too. So every now and then we hit a topic that has to be 2 weeks instead of 1. But we're talking about how our black men, how they feel with the fact of knowing and watching, hearing, seeing, discussing it at work, the fact that we have so many of our black men being shot and killed by police officers. I mean, to me, it's going back to what police used to be able to do legally, because police were invented to go get the slaves. And that's what they were supposed to be doing then. So it seems like they're going back to doing that now, to me. But my other question is this, and this is one that, you know, one of those hidden questions, because now I get to beat y'all up. Okay, me being a black female, I contacted all of you to come on the show, because I know all of you. I know everybody here, and I'm a part of what everybody does, because I think as a black person, we shouldn't just deal in our own. We should never have a circle. We shouldn't, because then you're limiting yourself. So I know everybody here, we've worked together on something, somewhere, but we've done it. But my question is this: why is it? And first of all, I know it's our job in history. I know black women, it is our job in history. We can get a bunch of black men together. We can, and we can get the dialogue going. We can do that. Why black men can't do it?
That's the question.
Yeah. Raymond Goosby sitting there like, no, she didn't.
I think arrangements have been made on different occasions. You know, I mean, we've done some things in Killeen. I don't know. We've done a few things on Killeen. I don't know to what end you would want, you know, that to be done.
A sit down. No, a sit down.
We've most definitely spoken amongst, Mr. Duckett, Mr. Ronnie Russell, Mr. Will Wright, Breeon, myself, Shabazz. I want to say, did you come to that meeting up in the attic that night? Was he there that night? Those couple of, and I mean, we met on a couple of occasions, and began a process of putting some different things in perspective. So I mean, I won't say that we haven't taken that initiative. Maybe that's something that, you know, we trying to keep on away from you right now, you know, and then we're gonna let you know about that. You know, we're keeping it on the low right now because, you know, Miss Phyllis, y'all listen to Miss Phyllis. Y'all know how Miss Phyllis is.
I get talked about.
You know, and that's the reason I love coming here. You know, Miss Phyllis her heart is filled with the desire to see our community standing up and a functioning community. You know, it's a lot deeper than the things that we just kind of glaze over. But I'll say this, that black men can get together and start the dialogue and even produce programs. About 4 weeks ago, I think it was, in Austin, we had a Black Male Summit. And we put it together in 2 weeks. We had about 75 brothers show up, and some of them brought sisters with them. And you know, some of the people I was working with were afraid to ask the sisters to leave. They said, well, Brother Robert, why don't you do it? Everybody respects you. So I kindly asked the sisters to excuse themselves for about an hour while we dealt with man stuff. Because with them present, we can't always deal with what we need to deal with as brothers in a brotherhood. And so we are starting the process of coming out from under this Willie Lynch type of design, where we are relying on our women to do certain things for us. But I'll say this, that at that summit, we acknowledged, I wanted to reach out to a different segment of the population. And so there's some brothers that I grew up with that I knew had done hard time, that had, I think all of them had done at least 20 years in the system. And one of them did 5 years, but he was on 18 years of parole. And so, but all of them are now doing something positive and have been for about 6 or 7 years now. And I awarded them, just to recognize that the fact that you are able to transform yourself. One of them had fought 3 murders. One did 3 years for a murder. Listen to what I'm saying. He did 3 years for a murder and 19 years for a drug conviction. So this is the type of male that we're dealing with in our community. And so, you know, many of the people who came out said, I didn't know these type of individuals existed in our community. So nobody's ever, and one brother told me, he said, I've never gotten recognition for anything except for a certificate when I completed my parole. So nobody acknowledges the black male's efforts to do what God has put in his heart to do, and the avenues to do it are prevented. And so I believe, and brother just mentioned the original Million Man March, and you get one man to bring nothing but men together and start the conversation. But the problem is we waiting on him to do something.
Right.
You know, this man 83 years old. He pulling it out of us to get us to do something. But I'll say this again, we got to be careful, because when we emerged out of slavery and we established nearly 60 towns, those towns in turn were burned down. Right? When we matriculated through the higher learning institutions, and then we became senators, we became reps, we became congresspersons, then there was this thing called Reconstruction that came. When we decided we were going to have one of the most recognized financial powerhouses called Black Wall Street in Tulsa, it was bombed. See, we talk about 9/11, but our community was the first community that was bombed on the shores of the United States of America. And so when we are talking to our children about taking this same course of action, but they have written in their DNA what has happened every time we decide we want to get together to do something. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, and this is what terrified white people for the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. He said, I'm looking for 10,000 fearless. Now, they went ahead and added something to that, said he was looking for 10,000 fearless to kill white people. But what he did say is that we need to do for self. We need to purchase land. We need to control our schools. We need to do all these things. And he added to that, when we get these things, we need to be able to defend them. So the brothers in the gangs and in the communities, with your weapons and your training, we need you to come back out of the system, come back out of the military, straighten yourself up and defend what we put, because business is warfare. Right. And that's what happened in Tulsa. See, we didn't understand business was warfare. We just thought we could make money and everybody was just going to let us make money. Yeah. You see, so we have to understand these dynamics, and these things are going on today. And so I would say this, we can get together. The problem is, one of our brothers, Brother Nuri, said that we have get-to-itiveness, but we don't have stick-to-itiveness. There you go. So we can get together and we can start a process, but we are not all the times real. See, when we look at financially successful people and we read their books, they don't tell you about the hungry nights. They don't tell you about the countless weeks and months where they didn't bring in any revenue. They just give you the glorified version of it. So when we run into those time periods in business that are designed for us to overcome, to become even more successful, we think that, okay, this business wasn't meant for me to have because I didn't read this in these manuals that these benevolent white folks shared with us. And so I would say this, that we do it. And we need to, with modern technology, we need to let people know what's going on. We need to let the world know that the black man is here, that we're strong, that we're living and we're breathing. And we just say to everybody else, get out of our way and let us do, and including the woman. So we acknowledge our modern Harriet Tubman, you know, in the Killeen, Corpus Cove, and Harker Heights area, you know, Miss Phyllis Jones. And so, but she's just trying to get us to recognize and get something started. I'll leave you alone, but get something started, you know. So we're grateful for you, sister, and that's it. I'll pass the chair.
Okay, then y'all ready for my next question? Y'all ready? Okay, and this one's gonna be kind of directed to you, Raymond, and there's a reason why. Okay, you're from Liberia, and you all have been fighting for a long time. So, versus the fighting you all do there, you've done there, to get back Liberia, to which the white man kind of tried to take away. When you see from there to here, seeing us here, what do you think?
Well, I don't know, but I see it for on this side. It's a lot of opportunity. I see a lot of great things on this side, right. Even though people being suppressed, you know. But I see a lot of great things because back home, you gotta struggle. You gotta work for everything you earn. There is no system like unemployment. So And if somebody come like a person, first of all, what was because of the war?
Right.
It's because the government that was there didn't want to do what the U.S. trying to do. He was trying to go up to China and Russia. So for that reason, like he said, collected some money, gave it to a guy who was in prison here, sent him back home and said, go and get rid of the system. And that's how the system changed. You see? So everything that was there went down. So, but like you said, back home, we live on a day-to-day. It's maybe you have the 20% or 30% people have bank account. Everybody do the business, eat, save the money, do business, eat, and just live a life like that. So, education, you gotta pay your own school fee. Houses, you gotta build your own. There's no loan. There's nothing like that. So, on this side, it's have a lot of opportunities, a lot of good stuff. So that's come to like one of the this is my part, yourself now. Okay. There is, if you don't respect yourself, nobody gonna respect you. 1, 2, opportunity that year. You go to school because I'll be frank with you. The first time I saw elementary school basketball gym, I was like, whoa. You know, because it was like our national stadium back home, you know, just for the elementary school.
Wow.
So, and I'm like, there's a lot of opportunity. Why people don't take, you know, dude, why don't take advantage of it, you know? So it really hurt me when I see our black brothers and moving around, you know, sometimes asking, hey, you going to school? No. Why? You know, the people don't like me in school. I said, dude, look at what you got. You know, there's a lot of opportunity that people can take advantage of, and if you do it, the police thing that we're talking about, it won't be what we're talking about today. Because for one fact, you educated, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna have a job, and you're gonna be able to feed your family. You see, so take advantage of it. And even where I work, like some young kids, when they hire them, the first thing I try to tell them, hey, do you want this to be your career? And they say yes. I said, okay, this is what you have to do. Especially the black kids, you know, get your license, go to school. But if you don't want this to be your career, don't waste your time. If you want to go to college now. Because your age, you're getting older, you're not getting younger. So take advantage, I advise people, take advantage of what you got, you know. Try, because people said the system don't work for them. I said, dude, you have to argue your way through. You know, if they say, go come back tomorrow, go come back tomorrow. If they say, go come back again, go. If they try 3-4 times, say, can I talk to somebody higher than you? Go higher, push your way up there, because I've seen people doing that. I've seen a lot of people, like the last time when, I told you, a Liberian year, I have friends here. One, he's an instructor at CTC. He got one, is a medical doctor. We got one, he's a helicopter pilot for the state trooper. We came the same way. Nothing but push your way through. And what about you that were born here? Mm-hmm. You know, especially, you know, we're already suppressing you as a black. Push your way through, and if you do it, people will respect you.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you all, since we only have a few minutes left, do y'all think this need to be continued next week?
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
That's cool.
I didn't hear that voice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we really need to do that, because I wanted to stress on the police part of it too, and we don't have the time.
Because we need to, because you all know each other, but people who are listening don't know you. So we're going to talk about some contact, how to reach and how to form together. And my show now, when people listen to it online, it stays online forever. But people in other states listen to the show now. So they've asked how we are doing things here. So we're not only teaching people here in Texas, we're teaching people elsewhere. And somewhere a foundation has to begin, because you can't go nowhere without a foundation. Somewhere the foundation has to be built. And I'll say those that are older than you, Breeon and Darryl and Raymond, we're older than you. So if you think that we need to educate you on any. You all need to be able to call and say, hey, how do you do A, B, and C? And we need to also learn your age style of where you are, because you can teach us a lot as well as us teaching you. So I think some people that are older, we need to get out of the mind frame saying a young person can't teach them anything, because you just as well as we teach you, you teach us, and then together we go as one. I know when Darryl was doing the program he was doing, and I took him to the police chief, and the police chief was shocked because when he saw Darryl and Tay walk in, he was thinking, oh my God, really? he had that whole look on his face. He had the, oh my God, really? Okay, what are they going to talk about? And after they started talking, he sat up in the chair, took out his pen, and started writing notes. Because his mindset was, I don't know why she brought these young people in here. You know, his thinking was that. And you know it. And it changed. When they started talking to him, he sat up in the chair. You know, he started talking. He took notes. All of a sudden, it changed his mindset. And that needs to be done often enough where they don't think, yeah, okay, who's coming through. They need to be done more often so that he knows, okay, we're here. Because later on he called me, he says, was everything okay? Why are you asking me? You know, why are you asking me, is everything okay? But he was nervous about meeting you because, like I said, he belittled your education.
He actually, they actually gave me a call. They actually gave me a call, but the way that I think is, by the time it got to me personally to want to do something for the community, I don't need your help.
Right.
You know, by the time I figured, like, I'm working at Five Guys, you know, taking money from Five Guys, feeding people and giving back and stuff like that. If I didn't need the police at that time, I'm not going to call for you now. So I appreciated knowing him and him wanting to know me and work with me. But what I'm going to do for my people, I'm going to do it without his...
But the point me is that he needs to know that you exist.
Most definitely.
You know, he needs to know that one day you all might call him one day, we need to talk to you. And they need to know that they work for us. We do not work for them.
Yes, ma'am.
I always say that we need to always remember they work for us. So we need to hold them accountable. And if enough of us start holding them accountable, he's going to tell his officers on down the line, listen, you better be careful because you better be careful. So we need to start instilling fear in them.
Important. Definitely.
And instead of them, we need to instill the fear in them that, 30 of us going to come see you. Why? You just don't worry about it till we get there. And if we do that enough, it trickles down, and then they begin to wonder, okay, we gotta get some better mindset going on. But I want to thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next Saturday, same time, same place. And I want to thank everyone for listening to Kids Community Connections. And I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.